Hey guys, and welcome back to the penultimate part of the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone playthrough. I guess it's time to introduce you guys to Fluffy.
Hey, Fluffy!
Aw, he's adorable.
So this is totally a fight where Mickey has an increased probability of coming in if you die, so don't worry if you do.
Shut up, Maxie, just shut up.
Hagrid said that he used to calm Fluffy with music.
Yeah, but it has to be heavy metal music, otherwise he's not gonna listen.
Oh jeez, Harry, don't forget to drop the beat.
Turn down for what?
Now the thing here is, when you run towards it, it will snap at you like that, and it'll do a snap forward and then a snap back, so just stay away until both snaps come out. But if you can just spam the buttons, like in a lightning bolt kind of formation, and you'll put the head to sleep before it can get a second round.
Just mash buttons. I'm making music.
That's how making music works when you're a dubcore band.
Man, I wish we seen Dante take on Fluffy, because apparently he has good luck fighting three-headed dogs.
It is my latest song, it's called You're a Fuck Child.
It's called Your Ma's a Slag.
After that sounds remarkably like a song that would be done by that one band from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Sex Bomb?
No, because...
You Crash and the Boys, Clash of Demon Head.
Crash and the Boys, that's the one.
So the one that this kills the audience or whatever?
Yeah, it's just like, we hate you, please die.
That's a really good movie, by the way. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
It's also a really good graphic novel.
It's that vine monster from Resident Evil 1.
I know what this is. It's the devil's snare.
Thank you for telling us after everyone's already trapped in, Hermione. Such a big use your big brain is.
I like how MBM complained while Ron was complaining about the exact same thing.
What do they used to call it? Stereo? Anyway, what you gotta do here is, you gotta take out the Devil's Snare tentacles in order. Make sure you hit the one that's glowing, otherwise they'll, just basically respawn endlessly.
That makes sense, you know. Hey, hit me now! Because you know plants are wont to do that.
What begs this question here is, why aren't we using Incendio, aka the fire type spell that we've got?
Well, maybe we will, Richie, but you're being very presumptuous right now. And look, you made the mama plant all angry and whatnot.
Da 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 da. You know, it's like the Zelda boss coming up.
That's some imagery right there, though.
How do you like Stunlock?
I would much prefer burning, but whatever.
Alright, well here's some burning for you.
Finishing attack!
Finish him!
Crossfire Hurricane!
Special!
Yeah, that's more of a special than the traditional, because it comes up from the ground, you see.
Yeah. God, Tom.
Don't care, moving on. That's 2 of the challenges down. But we gotta complete all 7, I think, to reach the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh man, you know what this just suddenly reminds me of? And this is Harry Potter related, by the way. I remember, this was years before, when the first movie had come out, and this was before abridging was ever a thing. Me and my sister, while we were still both in this phase, we rewrote, the entire movie as, this... it was an abridging. That's the best term for it. We just, we were just making all these terrible fucking jokes all throughout it, and, I'm trying to remember what we did with the chess bit, but I don't know. It was just... And we lost that, years ago. It was, the worst piece of written shit, but we still talk fondly about it to this day.
I hope you've been practicing your flying skills, because you'll need it, maybe, for this section.
I don't think there's any maybe about it, really. It's definitely.
Well, you could try running up the walls and then, parkouring off and grabbing the key.
That would be pretty awesome, but I don't think Harry's quite that athletically capable.
Harry, use your sick tricks!
At that point, then we just find our cop sister who's being blackmailed and we give her a first-person hug.
What is that a reference to?
You of all... Mirror's Edge!
I still need to, finish that game. I played a little bit, but then the first-person platformer got really fucking annoying, so I quit.
Dude, you can first-person hug. It is one of the few games in existence you can hug people in first person.
Oh, well, I'm sure that'll make me return to the game right away. I'll get right on that.
Fuck you better. That's the whole point.
Deadly Premonition is janky as shit, but it's also one of the only games where the protagonist sleeps under the covers. Even David Cage's games don't do that.
Yeah, and you can also race while listening to American Idiot.
Now, you may have noticed that, we're only like, 2-3 challenges in, but each challenge is basically set up by a different professor, and this goes back to the book as well, to protect the Philosopher's Stone. The first one was Hagrid's contribution, obviously. He bought that thing off a Greek chappie in the pub, very subtle, by the way, Rowling. Second one was given to, I guess the school by Professor Sprout, the Devil's Snare and the like. This one was Flitwick's, and I think the next one is McGonagall's.
One thing I also kind of liked about the book, too, is that it sort of required a character sacrifice to get through each one. Because I remember that, like, Hermione got stuck in the Devil's Snare, and she was like, continue on. And then we'll see later on that with the chess, Ron sacrifices himself there. And in the movie, they all make it to the chess, and then Hermione just chills back to take care of Ron. But I really did like in the book how it essentially became, like, you lost a character at each challenge, and I don't know, it's super duper fucking cheesy, but I'm a sucker for endgame character sacrifices. That's why the end of Tale of Symphonia fucking rocks to me.
Oh, that moment, that entire sequence is just beautiful.
I hope he's alright.
No, I would totally, fuck up this challenge here. I'd go in, I'd see the chessboard and go, shit! If this was Magic the Gathering, I'd fucking clear this!
I actually had a lot of trouble with this as a kid. I could get up to maybe the third board, and I'd just get stuck every single time.
You'll have to make the pieces fight each other in order to get across safely.
Hey, that piece called you fat. What?
I would recommend starting on the white spaces for this, or you could just follow one of the FAQs online. There's multiple solutions for this. This is the one I went with.
So wait, you can only move like a king?
It depends on which board you're playing on.
Oh, okay, because it just seemed like you're only moving one space in any direction. It's like, that's lame.
Let's watch every single piece move.
Actually, I have a reference for this. In between, we do 5 parts and take a break. Mexi was showing Richie and I Codename Steam and how long it took for the enemy to take their turn. Do you want to explain this, Mexi?
Oh my god, it's so fucking bad. I hate that you can't speed this up because you got your turn and it's all good and you have the aliens' turn. And the aliens, you can't speed it up, you can't skip it, you can't do fast animations like you would do normally in a Fire Emblem game. No, you have to sit there and watch this bar slowly fill up as it cycles through all the enemies and be like, okay, this guy gets to move, now this guy gets to move, and that would be fine if it was bam, 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 move, 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 done after another. But no, sometimes the AI stops and thinks. It'll go to one enemy, and you'll sit there for about 10 seconds, and then he'll decide to move. It's like, no AI, you don't need time to fucking think. We gotta fucking do this. And it's one of the issues I have with the game. I have to force myself to play just because I can't just enter a fight and then run through it. Doing any fight is a time investment that you have to sit there and wait. And it's pretty annoying, and it makes me sad because the premise is so fucking good, but I hate sitting through alien time.
And, there's other kind of... Would you classify it as an RTS, like Fire Emblem and such?
Definitely. It just has the added 3D shooter perspective.
And Fire Emblem, I think the latest one, has the ability to, speed up or skip turns, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You can do fast turn, you can skip each fight. But with this, and it's not even you can't speed it up because then it infringes on a combat mechanic, because when you set up enemies to shoot other guys, because you can position them for ambushes, it immediately jumps them and time slows down. So it's you could have just given me that. I don't need to sit here for 20 seconds waiting for each alien to think and then move.
Well, we kind of got off into a bit of a tangent there, but it helped pass the time. I guess I'm not really going to pick up Codename Steam, so moving on to Wizard Chess. How did you guys like the premise of this, just while we've still got time left? Helldragon, I'm going to start with you on this one.
Well, as a massive fan of Yu-Gi-Oh!, I think this is personally a great idea here. I did like how it sort of gave everyone something to do. At first, when I was reading this, I thought, oh god, Harry's just gonna clear them all, isn't he? But no, Ron helps out a bit, and then in the game, Ron promptly sits the fuck out, so you can do all the work. So, I don't know.
Richie?
Yeah, I think it's a really cool idea. I mean, it sort of ridiculously reminds me of Lego Chess, which was a game where you had... Well, basically, you played chess, and the characters kind of killed each other in ridiculous ways, and it was beautiful. And it's very much like that, but it was a very amazing moment in the film, just because it was kind of all very dark, and there was a real sense of danger, especially when we were all like 10 when it came out. So it was a really amazing moment.
Well, actually, I remember going to see Philosopher's Stone, and the lights were still on in the screen that me and my mum went to, go see, and it didn't actually go down until, like, I think Dumbledore was walking along the street to chat with McGonagall and whatnot, and some of the parents were not happy, I can tell you what. This section, we'll get to you, Maxie, don't worry, but let me just explain the premise first. This section, you basically have to not Alohomora, that's the opening spell. You have to Wingardium Leviosa these things out of the way, because if the troll runs into them, he'll basically charge forward and you'll die. So, yeah, you gotta do that. What did you think of Wizard Chess, Maxie?
Much better in the book. It's not really implemented all that well in the game, so... So yeah, just read the book portion of it. Like I said, this whole section, I've always just preferred the book version over the movie, games, any other iteration.
I think in the Game Boy Color one, you just fight, like you normally RPG fight, like a knight, a bishop, and whatnot.
Yeah, see, like, I don't know, just... It's done so perfectly in the book, in my opinion. Just like I said, with the character sacrifices, with each character essentially displaying their strength and then having it to, pass the baton to Harry, who, gets to the end by himself.
A little bit of tension in the scene. I really hate being chased in video games, though, no matter how slow the enemy is going, so I guess that contributes to it.
Oh yeah, I definitely get that vibe too. I'm sitting there watching this, I'm like, I'm surprisingly tense as fuck.
I don't think it helps that you can't see the troll whilst it's chasing you.
That just adds to the tension, too.
Pretty comical payoff to this, though.
Alohomora.
Did you press all the buttons, Hermione?
Let's see what's next.
You're a witch with a really massive brain and you couldn't figure out that, the opening spell is Alohomora. Yeah, that's the response that deserves.
She needed to remember all, that's why.
Knight and the shield. Did you see the symbol on the shield?
You chose
Like a
poorly.
potion. That must be what we
And
need
yet,
to get through
the
fire.
Philosopher's Stone refused to change.
The troll one was Quirrell's, by the way, which I think in the movie it was explained that, yeah, he let the troll in, obviously, because
Yeah.
defense against the dark arts and all that. This was meant to be Snape's. I think in, like, some of the other versions of the game, you have to actually pick the correct potion. Here it's just basically, like, you gotta find where the actual Black Knight is, and he's always under the left one. At least he was when I did, like, different takes and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, there was a potion dealio. It's like, I was going on like, oh man, this section was so good in the book, and then I can't even remember most of the challenges.
It's an iron knuckle.
No, there's not a Gerudo woman inside of it, so no, it's not. My level, get on it.
Oh, it's so cold, but it's so refreshing.
Potion.
That's why you have to drink cold drinks with a straw, so that it protects your sensitive teeth.
Go on, Harry, I'm going to go save Ron while you do the do and defeat Voldemort.
Whoa, you didn't tell me there was Mountain Dew and Doritos in this game?
All that and more, my friend, next time in the finale.